Hi everybody, it's Kit with Paper Kits, and I am having such fun today because I have beat a previous goal that I had set for myself. I run these little contests with myself, yes, all within my own little mind, and this one is how many pictures I can get in a mini album and it be organized and structured, not just cramming pictures in. And 20 was my previous best, and I came up with this little character, which I'm calling, I don't know what I want to call it, Journal Flip Pockets. That might be a good one. Let's call it Journal Flip Pockets. And this is the prototype that I made. I want to do a little Easter book with all the Easter pictures in it. My granddaughter took that picture, and I think that is so neat. So I want to work out some type of cover design using that. But again, these are wallet-sized photos, and I love the wallets because I can print out 9 per page. Saves me on paper, and they're just the right size. You can still see everybody really well. So anyway, back to the book. Hello, this is the Journal Flip Pockets. Yeah, let's call it that. Because the inside of this you can actually journal on. So it opens up like this. Here's what it looks like. It's just a little boxy looking thing. Very neat, very compact. And I have not put a closure on this one because, again, I'm going to work out some type of design on the cover there using that neat photo. It opens like this, and then these are pockets that flip out like this. And then this is the center section, which I've got this set up to do some journaling lines on, but you could effectively put photos on them too. So within each one of these little wings, let's call them wings, you can get 4 photos. And I just did my photos back to back because I didn't have enough paper left over to actually do matting. So you can get 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Really, you could get 24, 23, 24. And this is just one sheet of paper. Another thing I like about this is all it takes to make it is the scoreboard, pair of scissors, some glue. I don't even think, no, I didn't even use my cutting board on this. So that's another good thing about it. Very few supplies. Again, I'm making this one for Easter for all of the, oops, put your flaps in first. Need to show you how to use it right. Flap in first, then flip over your pockets, and then the top flips down. And it all lays real nice and smooth. You don't really need a closure on it unless you start putting, you know, some decorations on it. I did make one with a closure, and since it holds so many photos, I made one to put in my travel journal, my mini album travel journal, because again, we came back with over 2,000 photos from our last trip we did there. So this is one, no photos are in it yet, and I haven't, of course, taken the photos yet, so I don't have anything in the pockets, but this was made out of the old Curiosity Shop paper. And the closure that I did on it just simulated one of the old-fashioned leather closures where you have your little leather strip and then the little leather tongue that fits under it, but of course this is all paper. And what you see right here, there's enough in one sheet of paper to do all of this. So let's get started on it, and I hope you get as excited as I do. That's okay if you don't, though. Each to their own, each to their own. The first thing we're going to do is take our 12 by 12 paper and decide what we want up in the center part, if that makes sense. I should have left one of these open. But just to get you a positioning on it, my main focus is this center part here, because these are going to be what they're going to be. And so I want this side of this paper to be my center part, because this is going to be perfect for stamping some of my easy journaling lines down the middle of it. So I'm going to turn it over because I wanted to do the scoring on the other side of it. So we're going to make that decision, then we're going to set it in our scoreboard. And this is the pink paisley papers that I had left from another project. I love these, and it's like perfect for this mini album. So if you have any of the pink paisley, this is the Gypsy Chick. What is it called? Butterfly Garden Dewdrops. This is the dewdrop paper out of the Gypsy Chick line. So first thing we're going to do is get that orientated so that area is up and down on your scoreboard. And the first score we're going to make is at 3.75 all the way down your paper. The next score line is going to be at 4 all the way down your paper. Next one at 8 all the way down your paper. And the next one at 8 1/4 all the way down your paper. Okay? We've just created the hinges now for our pockets. Do a half turn. And on this, we're going to do the first score line on this is going to be at 1/4 of an inch. That's kind of hard to do, especially if you're a left-hander. I don't know how you'd even get in there. So you may want to do the 1/4 inch score using the other end of your board, but I'm going to try to keep this in order. So the first score line is going to be at 1/4 of an inch, 0.25, all the way down your paper. Okay, then the next one's going to be at 3 inches, all the way down your paper. Then the next one is going to be at 5.75. Whoops, get in there, all the way down your paper. Then the next one is going to be at 6 1/4. All the way down, and then 9 inches, and then we're going to do another little 1/4 inch at the very, very end of the paper. Oops. And again, you might want to do your 1/4 inches, both of them on this end. You can just flip your paper over that way. But that's it. Set our scoreboard over. Now what I do is I go ahead and fold up my score lines because we're going to do some cutting, and to do that cutting we need to see the score lines, especially around the outside edge. So just kind of go around your paper and fold up your outside score lines, or fold them all up if you want. We're going to come into a second score line for a cut there. So, am I even folding this right? Yes, I am. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Oh, this is that little 1/4 inch. You definitely want to do the 1/4 inch score lines. You don't have to burnish them right now if you don't want. I just need to have a better sight line for making our little cuts to create our air pockets. So on all the ones I've done, I've gone ahead and done some folds. And again, I'm not burnishing them, I'm just folding them. Okay, I think I can see now. Oops, got another 1/4 inch. And you want to do the 1/4 inch because you're going to cut a piece of it off. Hope this is in camera. Keep getting this closer to me. So there we go. Now, if you position your paper with the 1/4 inch on the right and left hand side, we can go ahead and make these cuts. So get your scissors out. And in here, you're going to see where you've got a 1/2 inch, it's right almost in the middle of your paper. There's a 1/2 inch spine area, let's call it. Almost right down the center of your paper. Again, 1/4 inch folds are at each end, and this is the 1/2 inch space in the middle. What we want to do is we want to come in and cut out that 1/2 inch section up to the second score line. Hope you can see that. Again, that's up to that second score line. Okay. Same thing on the other side. My flaps were kind of hiding my score lines there. And this is not a hard project, but it is a little finicky, just to make sure you get the cuts all right. That's the whole secret to this, is getting your cuts done right. So there, we got a piece looking like this, and here's the center part of my inside right here. Next thing we're going to cut is on the bottom. You're going to see where there's a little 1/4 of an inch section over here. And we're going to come up in there. I'll go ahead and cut it so you can maybe get a better idea. We're just going to come up to that score line. Okay. Yeah, did that one right. Okay, let me cut that off. I'm going to do this on each end. Going to cut the one out over here. Up to that score line. And then on this centerpiece, that little 1/4 inch of a scored area there on the end, I want you to cut it off. Just off the center flap. That's the only place. I'm going to leave it on the 2 end flaps. Get a straight cut there. Okay, so now the end looks like this. And we're going to do the same thing on the other end. And now what we've created is this part that folds up will glue around on itself and create your pocket. But we don't want to do that yet. Because really you can do it this way, just something to think about, or you can wrap it back this way, depending on what treatment you want showing, because you can flip that up that way and glue it too. So think about that. I want my stripes. I like it a little bit different on the flap areas. But that's just me. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. Now that you got the hang of it, it might go a little quicker here. Let's go ahead and cut them both. And then fold back and trim them off. I go a little slower sometimes, thinking that there may be somebody actually doing it along with me. I don't know about you, but I usually watch a video first before I attempt to do what they're showing on the video. So some of this might be taking longer than I need to take, really. Just by slowing it down for the beginners, but I think we all should stay beginners. We need to learn something new every day. Keep life interesting. So there we go. Now we've got the base profile all done. We've got the cutting done. We got all our fold lines where they need to be. The only other thing I would do at this point is decide where you want your pockets to be, whether you want to pull the back paper over to the front or the inside, or whether you want to keep the inside and just run your pocket cover in the back of it. I like this. I like that. Yeah, I like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to punch a little thumb hole punch, and I'm using the Stampin' Up punch this time because I want kind of a shallow. I don't want to go too deep so I can get another photo in there. So I'm only going to take it up to where the circle stops on my Stampin' Up punch. I'll show you when I punch it out. You'll see what I mean. And it just makes a little shallow thumb area. You can do that with a circle punch too, but I just happen to have this one out. So I'm going to do it. I want to do it on that end. So I just try to center it. And it's another one of those easy things and another use for your punch if you do have one. Instead of having to run and get a circle punch to do some thumb holes, just use your tab punch. And again, it makes little shallow ones, which leaves a lot more paper in place to put photos down over. Here we go. Only other thing I would do right now is ink all the edges. And I don't think I'm going to do this one. I am, but I'm going to do it later because I don't want heavy ink on it. I'm going to use the antique linen on this. It looks really, really nice with this paper line and doesn't really show that much. It'll just cover up all these white edges. So anyway, let's get to assembling. All there is to assemble this is these little 1/4 inch borders are just going to wrap around, and you're going to run some glue. Let's go ahead and do it. This is how quick it is to make this little complicated looking thing. Oh. Glue burger, booger, booger. Glob. We don't want a glob. And if you get crooked like I did there a little bit, just take your scissors and trim it off. Here's what I do. You know, if you take glue and you rub it all over your hands, you can get rid of your fingerprints. So you won't leave any evidence you've been there. This glue dries really fast too, so if you do get it on your hands, it doesn't make them sticky. It actually just creates a little coating. Probably keeps your fingers clean too. Might keep it cleaner. There you go. We're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to do the same thing here. Look how easy this is. Woohoo! Love that, love that. And after you get that glued, you basically are done, except for folding this little sweetheart up. So, and then what I would do is, on this one, I'm going to put the journaling lines in like I did on this other Easter one. Let me show you. You might not even be able to see them. But again, instead of putting pictures in the center part, which you could, I just did my easy journaling lines just faintly, because I like that look with that text in the background too. And now I'm just going to write about Easter 2012 and all the kids and babies and what fun and how blessed we are, and do a cover using Nikki's photograph that she took. I think that's just so cute. So there you go, guys. That was another easy peasy one. I'm not even going to finish it up here on camera because I think you see. Oops, you know what I didn't do? I didn't cut the 1/4 inch off this end, but you'll know because it'll interfere. If you don't cut it off, it'll interfere with one of your breathing sections in there. Let's go ahead and get it cut off. There we go. So, fold, fold, fold. Again, these will be glued and flip. And then all I did, if you noticed, all we have left are just these little bitty scraps of paper. Not enough to really do much with, except it is enough if you want to do the little faux leather treatment like I did on this one. Faux leather closure. Remember to put those flaps up first before you put your photo flaps in. I don't know how many times I've done that. But I took one piece, if you see here, and I just did a little treatment on the end of it. Clip the corners is what I did. Not really much treatment about it. And inked up the edges and glued it down at each end like I like to do my paper closures. And then I glued this on the back after I did an end treatment on that too. Clip the corners for the end treatment. I inked this pretty heavily because in my mind I was seeing a leather strap again. And that just tucks up under there. But really, now this one's popping up because I don't have the pockets glued on it. But once you have everything glued down and you've got your photos in there, this is packed full of photos. I don't know that I'll even put anything else in here unless I might want to put some text in there somewhere. I'm going to put Easter 2012 on here in this little heart. I think I'll stamp it on tissue paper or something so it'll look like it's just setting in that heart, but with a little bit of a background texture. Just a thought. I'll show it to you when I get it done. So I hope you enjoyed that, and this is going to be a quickie. Some of my videos get so long. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know how you like it. And another thing I wanted to tell you, on my videos, it's a good idea to read the paragraph that I post with them, because I don't know how to do all that text. You know how people have things scrolling across their videos, giving you links to other websites and things. I haven't learned to do that yet. I haven't taken the time. So I put things in the paragraph, the written paragraph with the video that you might want to read. I put links, I put measurements, because some of my videos just get cut off because, again, I'm a tech challenged person. So I wanted to tell you that, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me today, and let me know how you liked all this. Oh, see, I knew there was something else. What I did, since there wasn't enough paper left over for photo mats, what I did was I took my photos, and out of my scrap bag, I got 2-inch circles, and I put my photos back to back. And for the pull tab, I just tucked in the 2-inch circle. So this is going to be what's setting outside that you'll grab through that thumb hole there. So I did have to go outside the 12 by 12, but only to get the pull tabs. So I hope that still counts. Thanks, guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.